awesome he has been out of the gate with so much determination and desire. That's where he's been winning the races.
Here we go from Indy. Guess what? Chad Reed beats him. Chad Reed with the early lead. He gets the whole shot. Stewart's in third. Michael Lessie jumps into second place. Now, can Reed hang on? The two Rockstar Makita Suzuki's running 1 and 2. Stewart gets past Alessi now. And Wyndham is up into the front, battling on the number 14, sitting in fourth.
Well, this is what the fans of Indianapolis have been looking for. Chad Reed with a start. It's going to be an all-out drag race to the finish. Let's see if this is the motivation that Chad Reed needs to get all the way or to take that win.
Alessi back! He gets back inside of Stewart, and then James counterattacks, and Wyndham comes by Alessi as well. So Kevin Wyndham now moves up to third.
3 Suzuki's inside the top 5 as Michael Byrne comes across the first lap in 5th.
Wyndham going for only his second podium of the year. Hasn't seen a podium since Anaheim 2, where he finished in second. And the one thing we know, Jeff, is James Stewart will not panic. The first lap Chad Reed has led since the opening race of the year in Anaheim 1. It's a long time coming. Took all the way to round number 9.
And I'm telling you, this is where the mental strength comes into play. Can Stewart keep his cool? Is the pressure that Chad Reed's throwing out by having the lead, is that going to be a distraction for James Stewart, who really has, like I've said, he's been riding 100% of the day on his terms, leading qualifying practice, leading the heat race, leading the mains. Right now, Chad Reed is phenomenal lap times. Last time around, a 49.6. Stewart, a 49.8. So Chad Reed, at this moment, the fastest rider on the planet.
And guess what? Stewart is down. James Stewart is down. He's back up. He's on his bike. He's dropped to fourth behind Wyndham and Alessi. Make it 5th. Holy cow, watch this.
Watch this, he comes in a turn, grabs a handful of front brake, loses traction on both tires. That's what I was talking about, Ralph. Is that pressure? Is that pressure with Chad Reed out there gonna force James to lose his concentration and overcompensate? Now the pressure's on.
Jeff, I was right the first time. That's actually fourth. Now he's going for third. Here he comes, battling with Alessi. Cuts to the inside of the finish line, jumping, muscles his way past. Oh boy, James Stewart. This is, Jeff, I love watching it when James Stewart has to come back through the pack. He is such a fearless rider and so fearsome on that machine when he's got to get to the front. It's some of the most exciting times, if you're a fan of James Stewart, to really watch when he has to push the bike.
And Ralph, hit me with Stewart's stat.
He
Run
crashes,
every race,
he loses, he doesn't win. If he doesn't crash, he wins every time.
100% of the time. Just an incredible record for James Stewart. This small bobble here may have cost him the main event, but as you can see, top of the screen, lap 4 of 20. There's a lot of racing left. And remember, Chad Reed has to execute 20 perfect laps if he wants to win, so we're not going to give this away just yet.
That's right. Here comes Stewart. He's got Kevin Wyndham in his sights. Into the sand section, into the whoops. The gap between Reed and Stewart, almost 6.5 seconds. Stewart is on Wyndham. Over the double.
Wyndham pushes it wide, holds a nice line there. Stewart through the rhythm section, tries to scrub, get it.
Kevin Wyndham will not ride you dirty. Kevin Wyndham won't ride you dirty, but he'll push the effort. Look at this. Stewart inside now. He's got the move on Wyndham. James is back up to second place.
Chad Reed putting in some phenomenal rides, but the pressure, Stewart clips a top block.
That's the kind of thing you got to be careful of, Jeff. You can't afford another mistake like that.
I'm telling you, though, if anyone can do it, it'll be James Stewart.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
Remember, his trainer is one of the best in the business, Eldon Baker. They are more than prepared for these types of races where he has to give it 110% for 20 laps, okay? Physically, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Right now, it's going to be about keeping your cool, riding the best laps you can, and you'll see Stewart take a look ahead, trying to find out where Chad Reed is.
Watch the problems that Windham had after Stewart got around for second.
Gets a mouthful of sand right here, and see that tough block come out. Windham goes right over the top of it, and I tell you, that is just a roll of the dice. You have no idea what's going to happen when you hit those tough blocks. Sometimes you get over them clean, sometimes you just go flying off the bike.
There's the reigning champ, and there you see Stewart in the background. Chad Reed, he has got about, waiting for Stewart, 6.3 seconds between him and the 2007. Oh, Stewart! Again, he almost makes a massive mistake, but what an incredible save by one of the most gifted riders you'll ever see.
James Stewart totally WFO right now. James Stewart laid down a 49.5. Last lap Reed was a 50.2. That's 0.7 of a second faster. But look what James Stewart is having to do that. He's having to ride way out of his comfort zone. He is absolutely going for it, throwing caution to the wind. He knows the type of rider
Again, Jeff, in the sand pit. You can really see him sliding that bike around.
Watch this replay through the whoops here with James Stewart. As he gets way back, he's just got the throttle hammered. Feet are off, and then he... That is so close.
But, Jeff, watch him in the sand pit here, too. Look at the rear end of this bike.
Blows the turnout.
And, you know, nobody has attacked that sand corner any harder today than James Stewart. And that's the first time I've seen him actually make a bit of a mistake in there. Now, here's Reed. And you can see as we take it wide, there you see Stewart at the top of the screen. At the last time they crossed the finish line, they were 6.6 seconds apart. We'll get the gap when they come across this time.
And because of those mistakes, Chad Reed was 0.3 of a second faster than Stewart. I'm telling you, Stewart needs to regroup mentally. He needs to smooth out, try to use these lappers to his advantage as they start to enter the lappers.
There you see Josh Grant has crashed. He was inside in 6th position. Now Tedesco gets past him, so they'll swap spots. Reed now 6.1 seconds between him and Stewart.
0.2 of a second is not going to get it done, but as they get into the lapped riders, like I've always said, it's tougher to be the leader. But I'm telling you, Chad Reed is a smart racer. He has a lot of desire and determination. He's worked so hard for this. Oh, as you see,
it's Andrew Short who's putting on a tremendous fight with Mike Alessi for 4th. Alessi, who was running as high as 2nd earlier, now has slipped back to 4th, and he's got the hard-charging Andrew Short all over him on that Red Bull Honda.
Well, and Mike Alessi really has started to show us some increased stamina and some staying power as he's inside of the top 5 right now. Remember earlier in the year, he'd get the whole shot and he'd be back, make huge mistakes outside the top 10. So week after week, Mike Alessi keeps getting, Andrew Short has stalled the engine.
Oh, what a tough break for Short. Here comes his teammate, Tedesco's by.
Something has happened with the rear brake or something. The rear wheel is locked up. He's looking down. It's got to be a brake. Oh, there it is. There it is, right here. There's a rock right there inside the brake. There he goes. Andrew finally gets the rock out.
No,
see it
still stuck there. Still stuck.
There you go.
There it goes.
Top 10 out of the question now for Short. Wow,
what a tough break for Andrew Short, who hasn't finished outside the top 10 all year. In fact, his worst 2 finishes were a pair of 6 at Anaheim 2 and at Anaheim 3. Aaron.
Well, guys, Andrew Short is not the only rider out there having difficulties today with the rocks that here on the track. Kevin Windham found himself in the same predicament after 2nd practice. In fact, they had to take the bike, push it back to the rig, and put a brand new sprocket on, because what ended up happening, it got caught up in the sprocket, ended up ruining his 2nd gear, so it was an abbreviated 2nd practice for Kevin Windham.
Chad Reed continues to lead, but his lead is dwindling. 4.8 seconds between him and Stewart as this one continues on here in Indianapolis. The battle for the win in Indy. It's a great one. You're not going to want to miss the finish of this section. And there you see Stewart behind him. Reed does a good job. He gets past him. Now Stewart has to get by all 3 of those riders, one of which is Heath Voss, also Andrew Short in there. Here you see Stewart coming through.
And wow, was that a bad lap for Reed? He was at a 51-second lap time. Stewart turned a 49.3.
Big bobble. Stewart big bobble, Jeff, and that cost him again. Just as he gets close, he has another bobble, loses some time, but he is so incredible at regrouping and getting back on pace so fast. Look at that. That That bobble should have cost him huge time, but he gains more and comes right back after Reed.
Stewart is absolutely flying. Last lap around, it was a 3-second lead. As they come around this time, 2.1 seconds.
He's on it.
He's on it.
All right, he is on it. Here's that bobble. Watch, look at Stewart. And he falls behind these two riders and then blows right back past them. Look at that.
And Chad Reed made a huge mistake in the turn right after that. You've seen it on the replay. Now they're close. Now the pressure builds for Reed.
Jeff, you had battles like this with Jeremy McGrath back in your championship days, where you know your #1 rival is closing in on you like Stewart is doing on Reed. If you're Chad Reed, what's going through your mind right now?
Well, I can tell you one thing, it's not a good feeling because you know through the pit board and whatnot and the crowd that he was on the ground at one point. Now Stewart's put on just an incredible charge here, trying to keep his win streak alive. And he is absolutely flying. Chad Reed keeps hitting the lap riders. You see Bonnie holding him up. Now he gets a mouthful.
Now where did Stewart go? Where did they go with Bonnie in front of him? Over the jump. Stewart tries to get through. Reed holds on as they fly over the double jump. More traffic in front of them as they go into the rhythm section. Nick Way on the 27 is right there. Here comes James. Listen to the crowd. New leader in Indianapolis, James Stewart. All the mistakes, the crash, none of it matters. He's back out in front in the Circle City.
That is just an incredible effort by James Stewart. And how many times do we see him almost come off the bike in his charge back to the front? Now let's see if Reed can retaliate, if he has anything here for Stewart.
Oh man, I thought he was going to run it right up into him. Over the finish line jump.
Here it is. Let's see what they got going through the whoops.
Reed was so good over that single jump earlier today. Took the lead in the heat race earlier. And boy, it looks like Stewart's trying to gap him now, Jeff.
I'm telling you, Stewart is so focused now. He made some mistakes there, actually on the ground at one point. But I'm telling you, he has put his head down and charged hard, and that is an impressive ride. With less than 6 laps to go, he has taken the lead once again.
A 49.2 by James Stewart. The fastest lap of the night. And it goes to number 7, San Manuel Yamaha rider.
And Reed, that last lap around was a 51.4. Wow, that's a 2-second difference. Stewart just on the gas, in total command of this main event now.
But look at how he just charges through those whoops. Aaron, an amazing ride by James Stewart tonight.
Oh, an amazing ride by both gentlemen for sure, but this is the point of the race, lap 15, where physical fitness is really going to play a factor. Tonight's racetrack was designed and inspired by Mike LaRocca, the legend himself, but what he did, he said he wanted to make it as busy with as many obstacles as possible. What you're going to notice about this track is that there's literally 0 straightaways for any of these riders to catch their breath and to get themselves rejuvenated to keep on going, so we'll see who's at the optimal peak of fitness at this point.
Chad Reed's not done, Jeff. He's still charging.
Yeah, both riders incredibly motivated. Both riders in great
Here he
physical
comes. Look
position.
at this. Oh, I thought he was going to get him.
And I'm telling you,
Oh, Stewart's down. Stewart is down again. Unbelievable. And Reed is back in the lead with 4 to go.
wow, what incredible energy here. Lucas Oil Stadium hosting their first Supercross event. This stadium has not let us down. Thank you, Michael Rocco. You have put together a great track design.
James Stewart, twice, Jeff, is face down in the dirt. He bounced back the last time and got the lead back. Can he do it now with 3.5 to go? And I got to point out, Chad Reed has been telling you and I all season long, I know James Stewart's weakness. I just got to catch him to pressure him to make it happen. Was that it, do you think?
It was the pressure there. Stewart, when Stewart got by, Chad Reed did not back off. He gave it everything he had to make sure he was right there. And it was this same turn that we're in right now is where Stewart went down. And it was the pressure from before where Reed was out front and Stewart went down when he was in second earlier in the race. This race isn't over. 3 laps to go, all the way to the checkered flag.
No, you cannot count James Stewart out. If there's still green flag racing to go, he's in the hunt. And that's why these stadiums all around the country are getting packed with fans, because riders like these two putting on such incredible competition. Kevin Windham has had his problems here tonight too, Jeff. He has had major issues, and he is out. But the big thing tonight, Jeff, we talked about it early. If James Stewart crashes, he loses. And here's the problems he's had here tonight.
Let's take a look at the first one. This is where Chad Reed was out front. You see Stewart loses traction in both tires. Clips a tough block. Goes through the whoops, feet comes off. He grabs a handful of throttle, stands it up on the rear tire. Just incredible. Now another small mistake here where he almost dumps it in the sand. This is with the lead. Looks like he's got it in the bag. Couple laps later.
That was a weird one too, Jeff.
Just kind of cased out, and it stalled his momentum. Now less than 2 laps to go. Chad Reed has got a nice, comfortable lead.
Yeah,
I'm sure the nerves are high though.
Oh man!
And I'm telling you, for both riders, I can't explain the type of emotional rush and mental, like this, rush that you get while you're in this sort of battle. Chad Reed,
white flag,
picked the perfect night to have this type of race. I'm telling you, the fans of Indianapolis are on their feet. They are loving it.
And Jeff, this will mean that this championship fight will go all the way to Vegas, even if Stewart wins all the races from here on out and Reed finishes second, because points-wise, it would go all the way to Vegas before somebody can clinch. Just what we want. This will be, if he can hold on for the win, the first time this season a Yamaha has not won. Josh Graham won the opener, James Stewart the next 8, and here we are, Chad Reed trying to get a win for Suzuki.
Well, also, this is the first win for that fuel-injected Suzuki this year.
And don't forget, Chad Reed won the last race in the RCA Dome, and he is on his way to the first win in Lucas Oil Stadium. Chad Reed wins his first race of 2009. The crowd loves